just wanted to make a quick note before I really get into this video, but I just want to let me know in the comments if you want to see me play the new JoJo All-Star Battle R game. I could play some online matches, or I know a couple of friends who have the game. I might buy it on Steam because it's kind of weird on the PlayStation. Maybe it's the online on the PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's just the servers in general, or just I might buy it on Steam as well. But just let me know if you want to see me play the game with one of my friends, or or just some online battles. But let's get into the video. This video, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite JoJo protagonists. Now, my opinions changed a lot when I first watched it till now where I am, and it could probably change again. Like 2 or 5 years from now, I could probably think, oh, this is bull. But every time I ask my friends or people who watch JoJo, again, I'm not, I don't know everything about the JoJo community. Just tell me in the comments if you think, hey, I think a lot of people love Giorno. But from what I've gathered from all my friends who watch JoJo, they're always like, yeah, Giorno sucks. I don't like Giorno. If I asked them like a ranking, Giorno would be like the worst or second worst, because most of them haven't read the manga, and the ones who have usually put like Giorno still towards the bottom. The only person who they put lower than Giorno is Jonathan, and I don't even think Jonathan is that bad. Come on now, I like Jonathan. But to be honest, I would put him the lowest, the lowest. But I still love him. But Giorno, I would put Giorno kind of high on that list. Like, I love Giorno. I think Giorno is an amazing character. But when I first watched Golden Wind, I did not like Giorno that much, and that was back like a while ago. I watched this show. And I didn't like Giorno when I first watched it. I thought, oh, he's bland, he's boring, he doesn't do anything. He's just, well, he does do stuff, but he's just boring to me. He's not interesting. Now, I can see why people will think he's boring, or he's bland, or he does this and this and that. And I can see why people think that, but I thought the same thing when I first watched it, but I slowly kind of like changed my mind the more I got to know Giorno, and after I read the manga. I don't think Giorno is bland to me. I think he's a pretty interesting character. The way, like, knowing that he's Dio's son, but it's obviously Jonathan's body, and I know what I'm gonna say is like cliche as hell, and a lot of people say it, but I'm gonna say it. Giorno does show that well of he has the brain and intelligence of Dio, but the heart and kindness of Jonathan. Now, I feel like a lot of people have heard that before, like, that's bullshit, that's you trying to make it seem deeper than it already is. But like, because when I first heard that, I was like, that's bull, I don't think that's true. But the more and more I watched Giorno, and the more and more I like kind of saw how he acted, I think they executed that well, or Araki did that well when they made Giorno and how he acts. Like, yes, Giorno isn't like the best of people, like Jonathan. I think Jonathan is an amazing. He's perfect, even though he's not, because sometimes he kind of can mess up, but his heart is always in the right. Giorno at first was kind of like a delinquent a little bit. I remember he was like, come on, what he did to Koichi, come on, Ray. Now, I think like later he started to change, and I think showing that yes, like Giorno did have the brain and the heart of Jonathan, because constantly on so many different occasions Giorno has used his brains and he's used his head and intelligence to save his friends all the time. Now, yeah, that's kind of bland, but like if you think about it, that is kind of like what he does, or like he puts people and his friends before himself, or before the mission. I like that contrast of like the other people in the group, like Abakio probably wouldn't do that. Like, yeah, I'm not saying Abakio doesn't care about his like teammates or whatever, or his family, but because they're basically his family. But I don't think he's done it before, where like when they were trying to get the key, this guy Abakio was like, screw that, screw Fugo, man. I want to save him, but we gotta get this key. Now Giorno, first of all, he was right. Giorno was freaking right. You should have stopped the stand user. Man in the mirror. I love that stand user as well. You should have stopped him, and you should have stayed and helped Fugo. But he also, I feel like he did it out of the kindness of his heart. And I feel like Giorno is like kind of like Josuke in that regard of just like, he's like more like light-hearted kind of. Like if I see Jotaro, I feel like Jotaro's gonna be cold. He's a cold, you know, protagonist. Like he seems more like a do it your fucking self kind of guy, or like can you read bit? Like he seems like that kind of person. But like Giorno has like a soft way of talking to his friends and his teammates. Like Josuke does, but like Josuke is definitely more in like a like that, you know, like that kind of friend in the friend group that's like he's cool, but he's not gonna baby you kind of cool, which is most of your friends. Giorno seems like the friend that would baby you in a way of like, I'll help you do this, I'll help you do that, you know, like he seems like, or I believe in you, you can do this. Like he seems like that kind of friend, that everyone should have, that everyone needs, man. You need that friend that would just be there and support you all the way in a half twink, half like kind-hearted kind of way. I feel like Giorno is that character. Like Giorno, like when Mista was trying to shoot the gun, like it was really weird. It was gay as hell, and I love it because of that. When he like held on to him and helped him like aim, like that was pretty cool. Like that was pretty cool. Like yes, sometimes he can be like a bro. Like I'm not saying Giorno's gonna baby you on everything, or he's gonna be like, it's okay, baby. You know, healing and like caress your hand, like hey, it's okay, it's okay. Like no, he's not gonna do that. But he's gonna believe in you and believe in your abilities, and push you to do the best you can. I don't think he's just gonna be like, hey, let me do it, let me do it. But I feel like Giorno will always push you for you to do your best, like he did for his crew. He would always push them for them to do their best, and I don't think he would ever leave any of his crew behind. He doesn't. He's not that kind of person. He's not gonna leave someone behind. That's just not him. That's just not what he would do. Now he's very smart. He's really smart, and smart as hell. Just like Dio, he would use his intelligence, but also use his compassion. He would use his intelligence to save his friends, which is using Dio's brain while having Jonathan's heart. You see what I'm saying? Another thing about Giorno that I like is his backstory. I think his backstory and the way he acted as a child and what he took away from like the things he saw as a child, from his stepdad and his mom, and from the mafia and the mafioso guys. Like he took, when he was especially with the mafia, I think he took the good from the bad. I think he also knew the bad, because one, he's a son of Dio. He's gonna be like, you know, come on now, he's gonna be a little smart because he was already mature for his age. You know, I'm fairly sure he knew that mafioso was not only good, but I'm pretty sure he saw the good and the beauty in what being in the mafia is. You know, I think he saw that and he understood that at a young age. I liked his backstory a lot. I liked it more than Josuke's. I liked it a lot. You know, it may be like, I wouldn't even say it's basic or generic. I think it's a pretty good take and different take on someone looking in. Like someone who can see the good and the bad, but understand why. You know what I mean? I think his backstory was also really great. Now, as a main character of a JoJo, I think Giorno did it well. Like, yes, I think the other JoJos are unique and cool in their own ways. I think Part 3 Joseph, even though he's not the main character, I think he's a little underrated. I think a lot of people just kind of brush him off as like Part 2 better. I think he's definitely cool. And I think Jonathan is also cool. I think all of them are really dope. But I think Giorno gets kind of hate for some reason as like bland, or like, I expected so much from you. I thought you were gonna be so 10 out of 10 perfection. You were supposed to be the amazing. I was just like, why, bruh? Like, even I thought that. I was like, trash. You're bland. You're boring. But I think he did execute that cliche Jonathan Hart, Dio Brain idea really well with what he did in his actions and how he treated his friends. I also liked how like he kind of started off as a delinquent, but his heart was kind of like in the right place, and then he kind of like transitioned and kind of liked his friends later. You know, I don't think he hated them, but I think he got a lot closer with his crew. And Bucciarati was also really cool too. Also, Giorno's stand, I love Golden Experience. I think his stand is amazing. It's clean. Come on, his stand power is cool. Requiem, that's cheese. It's cheese, but I think it's cool. I like the way Golden Experience looks better than Requiem, but I still think Requiem is cool. Let's not forget that Giorno probably had one of the best beatdowns of all the JoJos, and that was it was like a 7-page Muda. It was so ridiculous. He did it on the green guy, and it was an amazing. He went so hard on that guy, and he deserved it so much. The way Giorno talks, like, yeah, I think some of the other JoJos have like memorable phrases, but I think Giorno also does have some pretty clean phrases. And hearing the Muda, like, that is, he's clean. He's clean. He not only does he have, well, I'm not saying he's like, oh my god, he's a 4D chess character, but let's not act like he's some two-dimensional piece of garbage, you know. He's not that. He's definitely more than that, to me at least. I feel like Giorno also does this thing where, like, Giorno he would be that confident in your own abilities and push you to that limit to do what you need to do, that he would let himself get messed up. Because if you have a better chance, and if he thinks you can do it, even though you might not have the confidence in yourself, like when Naranjo against like the Shark Man, and he had Aerosmith or whatever, and Giorno was getting messed up, like he was getting messed up, but he was that confident in Naranjo's abilities that he would kind of like, I don't see other JoJos kind of doing this as much, but he would like be that confident, like, yes, you can do this, you know how to do this, bruh. Like, if you really push yourself that far, you can do it. I think that part of Giorno is also awesome. I think he's also really likable. And he's got just pretty clean catchphrase. I think Giorno is a way too overhated JoJo to me. At least from my friends or people I talk with about JoJo. They hate him for some reason. I don't know why. At first I did too, but I rewatched it, so maybe I'll tell my friends, hey, rewatch part 5, dude. Change your mind on Giorno, you know. And if you don't like him, that's fine, but at least give him a second chance, you know, because he deserves it.